This could come down to a quick claw Ditto situation. YouTube, today we're going to be using a brand new team, and this team is the team I used to get top 8 at the North American International Championship, as well as the team that Emilio Forbes used to win the New Jersey Regional Championship as well. If you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, really does help me out. And it is not our team technically, so we are going to be keeping the spreads a little bit hidden. But if you do want to see a very similar team, you can check out the original version that Tabu used to win a tournament really early in the Series 12 format down below in the description. And yeah, let's get started and play some games. Lunala-Groudon, Charizard, Regieleki, Rillaboom, and Grimmsnarl. Okay, this is not a matchup I would be very happy to see. This is not a matchup I would be very happy to see if I was playing. Okay, what am I exactly going here? I do want to bring the Calyrex. Calyrex can threaten quite a bit. This looks like a version of like Wolf's team realistically. Oh boy, this is gonna be really tough. Oh boy, this reminds me of Wolf's team from the the New Jersey Regional Championship, and I do have very similar things to Emilio, but this is this is gonna be very tough. I'm gonna go with Zacian. I think that's like my best lead here for the most part, and then in the back I think we're bringing the Rillaboom and Incineroar endgame. Calyrex could be useful, but the problem with Calyrex is there's Charizard, which is a bit problematic. There's the Lunala and the Regieleki. There's just so many threats to me right here, and I'm really gonna have to call like which one my opponent is gonna go for right here. Let's see what my opponent decides to do here, but I do really like the idea of Thundurus plus Zacian because Thundurus can do a really nice job here. A Grimmsnarl plus Groudon, that is one heck of a lead choice. Okay, so Groudon plus Grimmsnarl. I don't think you would max the Groudon yet. I'm not 100% too sure. I would live. I wonder if it's my best idea to probably just protect the Thundurus turn 1 and just going for the Behemoth Blade. The only way that my Zacian should go down here is to a max Quake from the Groudon. And they're probably just going to get a Reflect Up with Grimmsnarl most likely. And I would really like to get a Behemoth Blade off into the Grimmsnarl if I can. They make a smart switch though. This Incineroar, Charizard comes out, which that's not a Pokemon that really wants to take this Behemoth Blade. So I will gladly take the Charizard off your hands. Okay. Because that is the max Pokemon that I'm like really scared of. Unless for some reason your choice Scarf Charizard, which I really hope you're not, we should be okay here as we do get the Behemoth Blade off in the Charizard. Look at that damage. That's amazing damage right there. Okay. And Precipice Blade's going to be fired off. I should live this unless it's a boosted item Groudon right here. So let's find out if that's going to be the case. Precipice Blade's going to come out and Zacian does survive. But that's a lot of attack on the Groudon. That's like max actually. Okay. Pretty good turn. Pretty good turn. I think this is my play to just go for a wild charge into the Charizard slot. And there's quite a few things I can do here. I don't need Zacian to win this game, I suppose. I think I'm just going to get some damage off into the Groudon with Behemoth Blade to try to put in range of maybe like the Grassy Glide for my Rillaboom later. And it looks like no protects at all, so this is perfect. I do get the Behemoth Blade immediately off into the Groudon right here, which is fantastic. That's a really nice amount of damage, and we are going to be able to get a wall charge off into the Charizard. I finish it off. I don't know if I want to max the my Thundurus just yet, so I did want to conserve it, but this could be Rock Slide or Stone Edge coming out. I should live a Rock Slide though. That should be okay here. They do go for Stone Edge though into my Thundurus and just eliminate the Thundurus. Okay, so could get a little bit ugly, but that's perfectly okay because Thundurus was main job was for the mainly for that what was it called, the Charizard. So now I can probably go into Rillaboom pretty safely here and get that grassy terrain up. I get a faster fake out than my opponent. The only problem is if they go Incineroar, which I guess could be annoying, but it's Grimmsnarl coming out, which is perfect here. Okay, nice. So I should be able to get a fake out off into a Behemoth Blade. And yeah, then I have Grassy Glide potential as a threat. This is looking pretty solid, I think, for the most part. I guess, I mean, if they had Incineroar, well, they don't have an Incineroar actually now that I think about it. So yeah, this is actually like a really safe option. We can go for a fake out into the Grimmsnarl, and we're just going to go for a Behemoth Blade into the Groudon. Unless this is a max speed Grimmsnarl with fake out, I should be okay here. If the Groudon has Protect, that's fine. I really don't think it's too bad if the Groudon has Protect. The Behemoth Blade should always should knock out the Groudon at this range, even if it Dynamaxes. and they don't exactly have the best switches right here. Behemoth Blade's going to do a lot of damage to Lunala if it switches in, which I'd imagine is probably their last Pokemon. So this has gone pretty, I mean, it isn't what I would expected, but this ends up working out really well for me. I am able to get the Fake Out off into the Grimmsnarl, and I am able to get a Behemoth Blade off into the Groudon right here. So that's a really good knockout right here. Getting rid of Groudon is probably the biggest threat to my team. Max Flare plus Max Quake would really threat to a lot of damage. So Groudon eliminated, really nice. Okay, so they really want to preserve the Grimmsnarl, but I don't know. Grimmsnarl was really the necessity to survive here. Maybe they were like really scared of Calyrex endgame, which I guess I could see, especially if Lunala's the last Pokemon. But yeah, taking that much damage on the Pokemon that most likely want to max in this game was really no bueno to them. So now I can go for a Grassy Glide here into the Lunala to break a Shadow Shield. And I think I just go for a Behemoth Blade into Grimmsnarl and try to finish it off right here. They could go for Reflect. They could go for Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is kind of the annoying part here. If they do go for Thunder Wave, I mean, I don't think it's too bad because I do break the Shadow Shield on Lunala. Then I could go for like a Max Darkness with my Incineroar, and I will live a Meteor Beam, so I think that's a-okay for me. They are actually just going to Dynamax immediately and not even fire off a Behemoth Blade, so I'm kind of curious on what the Grimmsnarl is going for. I'd imagine Reflect is your safer play, but if you want to go for a greedier play, if you have Thunder Wave, you could go for the Thunder Wave right here. But right now, I'm in a really commanding spot, so Lunala is going to Dynamax right here, and yeah, I really thought it was going to be something like Regieleki combined with like Lunala, maybe like Lunala Charizard or Regieleki plus the Lunala or Charizard. But yeah, Scary Face is going to come out. Okay, makes a lot of sense here. I am okay with that. So the speed is going to fall harshly on my Zacian as they go for a Rock Fall, I guess, to cover for an Incineroar switch, which definitely does make some sense here. So the Zacian does go down here, but at this point, like, I don't really think it's that bad. The Sand is actually going to be really helping out here because it means that Lunala can get like the multi-scale, or not multi-scale, the Shadow Shield back with its ability in the grassy terrain. So that's actually really nice here. And I don't really care about the Sand too much. It actually probably benefits me more than them realistically, because I think Incineroar being Goggles makes it so I don't really take that much. Now I can Dynamax the Incineroar right here and go for the Max Darkness, I think, and that should be like a really strong play here. And I can go for a Grassy Glide into the Grimmsnarl, and I should be able to two-shot even if the Grimmsnarl decides to go for the Reflect here on this turn. So that should be really solid here. So that's why I want to save my Dynamax as much as possible, because I didn't know if I was needed for the Charizard in the back, but we ended up getting a lot of damage to Charizard. So now, even though we lost Thundurus, like, I still have a pretty strong max option thanks to Charizard being eliminated. So we can go for a Max Darkness here into Lunala and the Grassy Glide and the Grimmsnarl. And this should be like a really solid position, I think, for us to win, but we'll find out. I don't think Crit Max Rockfall could knock out my Incineroar right here. Fake Tears is not an option for my opponent, so I'm pretty sure Incineroar is just super safe to win this game. Yet, who knows at this point? There definitely might be one option I'm not considering here that could screw me over, but let's find out if they do have that option. We will get a Grassy Glide off into the Grimmsnarl right here, which is very, very good damage. Yeah, like, oh, that's a critical hit, and that's a really nice crit there, as they do get Reflect Up. Okay, so Lunala probably survives one, but at this point, I don't even think it's that bad, realistically. They do go for the Rockfall here. It is going to target down the Incineroar, which, let's see how much we take. It's not a +1 Meteor Beam, which probably does more, and yeah, I do take it quite well here, and I am able to get the Max Darkness off. Probably doesn't KO with the Dynamax and Reflect Up, but this is going to do a lot of damage. Yep, pretty solid damage right there. And now we should be able to win this game, because I should just be able to get a Grassy Glide off, KO the Grimmsnarl, and I guess I can Max Guard here the Incineroar, because a Max Phantasm. Oh, is that the right play? I mean, then they Meteor Beam next turn. Nah, I'd rather actually just go for, I'd rather risk it being a roll here, I think. Yeah, I'd rather risk it being a roll here. Because if they get if they want to be inclined to Meteor Beam my Incineroar, a Moongeist Beam at +1 crit could knock out the Rillaboom if I'm not able to KO the Lunala fast enough. So yeah, I think I'd rather just go for the Max Darkness here and just hope that a Rockfall doesn't either crit or it's like some kind of damage roll right here. which it would need to be like that would have had to been the lowest, and they would have to get the highest one right here. Grassy-Glide gonna go before the Grimmsnarl's Prankster just KO that Grimmsnarl. I don't know if the critical hit really mattered because the Grimmsnarl would have still been pretty low, but it's still really nice not having to deal with, like, I don't know, some kind of other factor here, I guess. A Rockfall gonna come out in Incineroar. We do survive, so that is gonna seal up the game right here as we are able to get the Max Darkness off, finish out the Lunala. And that is good game. So this is actually one of the way trickier matchups right here, but I felt like the lead really was actually really strong in my favor compared to, like, I don't know, again, Eliki plus Charizard, Eliki plus Lunala. I think those are the really scariest leads right here. But if the Eliki, I guess, isn't like Airstream, if it's like Max Strike with Hyper Beam, then it's a lot weaker of a lead because you can't like knock out the Calyrex with like an Airstream combination with a Moongeist Beam if like the Lunala is faster. So I don't really know the sets on their team, but if they don't have the Airstream on Eliki, it makes a lot of sense to not lead that. But yeah, I was just able to get a lot of damage, I think, immediately into the Charizard. They preserved the Grimmsnarl, I think, fearing the potential of the Calyrex sweep, but it ended up really just hurting them, I think, overall. But we get to find out their team at least. Power Up on the Lunala. Okay, so it wasn't an Airstream option. They had Hyper Beam, which is a really cool option on the Lunala. We're gonna see Life Orb on the Charizard, pretty standard with Solar Beam and Air Slash and Heat Wave. Okay, not the standard sets you would see on it. Assault Vest Groudon, pretty standard. Heavy Slam, okay. The Miracle Seed Rillaboom. Oh, this Eliki is way different from like any offensive ones. Okay, that explains a lot more, I think, for the most part, why we didn't see the Eliki. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense of why we saw the Pokemon we saw there. That's actually really interesting to know because like I was basing this off like the Wolf New Jersey team as well as a few other Lunadon teams that have been really popping up in popularity recently. But yeah, these sets I think just made it a lot easier for my team then, which is really strong. It is even Timid Eliki, which is surprising here. Oh, okay. I think this is Francesco Pardini. We got Dialga-Zacian, Ditto, Porygon 2, the Sableye, and the Gothitelle. If I remember right, this is a Japanese team that's been popping up on ladder recently here. It's a really annoying one though because of Sableye. Sableye is actually like really frustrating to handle. Otherwise, I think I have an okay matchup. It's not amazing, but it's not like impossible right here. I really do like my Calyrex lead. I think it's Calyrex plus, I want to say it's Rillaboom. I think it's usually Rillaboom. Yeah, I think it's Calyrex Rillaboom. I had to bring Zacian so I can damage the Dialga afterward. And then my last Pokemon, I'm not really a big fan of Thundurus. It's either Gastrodon or Incineroar right here, and I'm just not sure which one I really should bring here because I don't remember the Dialga-Zacian matchup because that was like a long time ago when the team was relevant. I want to say it's Gastrodon, but that's a really tricky thing to say here. I don't know. I think it's probably Gastrodon. They don't exactly have like the... Well, actually, no. I think it'd be Incineroar. Yeah, I think it'd be Incineroar because I want to tame the Zacian, or not the Zacian. I want to tame the... Well, I guess I do want to tame their Zacian, make it like easier to handle, but I also want to be like really careful of the Ditto, which I think Ditto is like a really scary Pokemon as well right here because Ditto transforming into my Zacian or even my Calyrex could be like a really threatening thing here. So let's see what my opponent decides to do here. It's going to be the Dialga plus the Sableye lead. Okay, perfect. All right. So Dialga plus Sableye is perfectly fine for me. I lead my Rillaboom plus my Calyrex right here. This is Trick Iron Ball, if I remember right, on the Sableye right here. So I do kind of have to watch out for that. So there's a few things I could go for here. I could switch out into my Incineroar if I want to. It does avoid that situation. I could go for a Snarl immediately, yet I don't know if that's really the play here. My Rillaboom should, I think, live one max move from the Dialga. I'm hoping that Grassy Glide could probably two-shot the Sableye, so I think I'm going to go for the Grassy Glide here combined with a Protect from the Calyrex right here. The Sableye makes this a really difficult thing here because Sableye was not on the original form of the Dialga plus the Zacian teams and previously. It used to be Grimmsnarl and Gothitelle, and Gothitelle, of course, not really as worrisome here. But the Sableye makes it really tough because I can't fake it out and go for like a Snarl turn 1, for instance, which was very common for this matchup right here. So let's see. Protect the Calyrex. I'm hoping this is trickier into the Calyrex slot, but we'll find out. I do get the Grassy Glide off. No fake out, thankfully, in the Rillaboom because that would have been a disaster. Nice damage. They do go for the trick. Beautiful, beautiful. And this is going to be a Max Hailstorm. Oh, does that KO Rillaboom? It might. Oh, if it KOs Rillaboom, that's not good. Oh, we do survive, but does hail go before grass? I think it does. Oh, that's not good. I just snarled. Yeah, life orb. Yeah, it does go before the grass. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, that's really not good. Okay. Rillaboom goes down. Huh. Oh, that's so awkward. Okay. I think I have to go Incineroar here. Oh, Hailstorm. I didn't know this team ran Hailstorm. Okay, that makes a lot of sense though for like Lando. I think Incineroar is the play. I think it's either Incineroar or Zacian. I think it's Incineroar, max the Incineroar, and then switch out an Zacian. I feel like that's probably my best out right here. Or do I Flare or do I Darkness? I feel like either one's probably okay here, because I'm thinking they're gonna trick and go for the max dragon into the Calyrex. Unless they're gonna read this, they could go for like a dragon or a Quake here. If they go for the Quake, I'm probably screwed, but let's just see how it goes. I'm gonna go for a Flare or Darkness. Now that's the big one right here. I think I want to Flare just so I can always threaten the I want to threaten the Oko on their Zacian, because my Incineroar probably doesn't pick up the knockout. The thing is, even though I'm switching out his Zacian, the really big fear is I actually really wouldn't mind them dragoning my Incineroar, so my Zacian doesn't give their Ditto a +2 potentially right here, but we'll see. We are Dynamax our Incineroar right here, but okay, if it's Hailstorm on the Dialga, I guess I have to read the turn 1 of max of potential. I guess I would probably have to take the trick. I thought I was hoping that I could avoid it there with the Grassy Glide, because I thought again I would live max dragon, and unless the Sableye hard red and targeted the Rillaboom stop with like a Wisp or something, I would have been pretty good. But yeah, this ends up being a lot worse right here. They do go for the trick. Okay, please show me max dragon. Max dragon into Incineroar. Okay, that actually is probably best case scenario actually, surprisingly, but that does a lot of damage to my Incineroar. Okay, not exactly appreciated, but definitely runnable still. Okay, as we are going to get a max flare off into the Sableye, which should finish off the Sableye. Yep, Sableye does go down. Okay, so this is still a game, thankfully. We still have quite a few outs right here. I gotta watch out though, because this could still be very concerning with a Ditto and their Zacian that could be coming out right here, which I don't know what's coming out for them. Probably their Zacian, I'd imagine, but we'll see. My Incineroar back to... Okay, let's see. Who are you bringing out? The Zacian, or are you bringing out... The thing is, it looks like you have to target the Incineroar in order to pick up the knockout upcoming. They haven't seen my Incineroar item, but if they do know it's safety goggles, then they could fire off a Quake and KO my Incineroar, which is a little bit problematic. Should be Zacian or Ditto. I just don't know which one they decide to go for. I think it's probably... Oh, they went Ditto first. Okay. That actually works out, because if they're like an offensive Zacian, that actually probably that would have screwed me a bit more there. So that actually probably works out for me. Okay. So they get the sword off. I think my play here is to always go for the opposing Zacian right here. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I guess it's a little bit tricky spot, because I could go for Behemoth Blade Max Flare, but I just don't know if they're going to Quake the Zacian slot or not, because that's a pretty big one. I do live one Sacred Sword from my Zacian. I know that for a fact, even at +1. I really want to go for the damage here. You know what? I'm going to go for the damage here. I'm going to go for the... Actually, I should Sacred Sword here. Sacred Sword and Flare, I think. Let's see if this works out. We're gonna see what come out from them. Oh, it's Quick Claw. Okay, that changes it quite a bit here. Oh, they went for Protect. That's actually really funny. Okay. Huh. That's pretty unique here. Sacred Sword into the Dialga. I get some pretty good chip off. We're gonna see the Quake come out into who? If it was Incineroar, I'm kind of sad I didn't go for... Okay, they did go for the Incineroar. Okay. I'm a little bit sad, actually, that I didn't go for the... Huh. Dang, okay. So that's actually really unfortunate for me, because I could have just max guarded here on this last turn and to protect my Zacian and been fine. I was really scared. What's the Choice Scarf on this team then? Or do they just run Quick Claw now? Which I'm a little bit surprised at to do. Okay. I'm going on a Calyrex right here. This is still probably not even that bad realistically for me, but it might come down to Zacians and speed ties, which of course isn't exactly the most ideal situation you want. I wonder if I KO'd a Dialga here with Sacred Sword, because that Sacred Sword didn't really do that much damage from before. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna miss the KO, so I think I'm gonna be forced to go for a Sacred Sword here into the Dialga and Astral Barrage right here. And yeah, I think I have to. Otherwise, I would go for the Will-O-Wisp and the Sacred Sword, but I don't think I can really afford that. They also have their special defense increased with the Quake, so it's a doable game, but it's not exactly the best one right here. If they switch out their Ditto, that would be a throw. Yep. Okay, so they do stay in, which is perfectly fine for me. This might come down to Zacian speed tie in the late game, but ooh, that's a big crit there. Okay, that's actually a really nice crit on the Dialga. Okay. Because that gives me a +1 special attack boost. Oh boy, wait, this just got interesting right here. Okay, they go for Behemoth Blade. I don't know who they're targeting right here. Into the Calyrex to break a sash. Okay, perfect. So I do have the Focus Sash still intact. The Sacred Sword are going to come out into the Ditto slot, and yeah, that does bring it pretty low right here. This is very interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's really interesting. Let's see how this endgame is going to play out. It should be their Zacian coming out. Yep, it is their Zacian. And this endgame, ooh boy. This could come down to a Quick Claw Ditto situation, realistically, or Protect Mind Game Read. I think I want to sub here in Wisp. I kind of do. I don't know if their Ditto protects or if they just go on the attack right here. I could also just Behemoth Blade their Ditto, but I have no idea if it protects or not, and I would really like the Behemoth Blade off. But I guess Behemoth Blade's fine in a Wisp here, unless the Ditto decides to go aggressive. But if I Astral Barrage or Protect, I feel like that doesn't cover either the plays I can make. So I do think they're either going to attack with their Zacian or go for a Double Protect to scout from my Protect here. Nice. Okay, so I am able to land a Wisp off. That's huge. Okay. I do get a Will-O-Wisp off into their Zacian. Pretty big, pretty big. Okay, nice. As Behemoth Blade is going to come out from their Zacian, probably targeting my Calyrex, I'd imagine. No, into my Zacian. Okay, so my Zacian takes quite a bit here. We are going to see a Behemoth Blade be fired off from the Zacian into my Calyrex, so they are going to finish off my Calyrex. I don't know who wins this end game. They're burned, but I'm at neutral attack. They crit my Calyrex. That doesn't change anything. Actually, doesn't that play loose too if I just go for the Astral Barrage? I guess they were hoping for the Quick Claw then. I think they banked it on the Quick Claw right there. So Behemoth Blade is going to come out into their Ditto, finish off their Zacian. So that was the biggest threat to me actually right there. So that's perfect. Okay. And now it's a burn Zacian versus my Zacian. This is going to be a very interesting end game, I suppose. This is tough to say. Grassy Terrain disappears from the battlefield. I think we just spam Behemoth Blade at this point. Yeah, we just spam Behemoth Blade at this point. Let's see. Because it looks really, really close right here on the Behemoth Blade damage right here. So I might need an extra turn of Grassy Terrain. A Behemoth Blade going to come out into my Zacian right here. 133 to 59. Okay, yeah, I don't think I win this endgame still. Behemoth Blade does come out into their Zacian. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough here, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not enough. Okay. I don't think I want to protect stall because of potential sub from their Zacian, but I guess, well, I always go for the protect now, right? Yeah, I always go for the protect now. There's no reason not to. If they sub here, they just like go down to burn, so I might as well just protect and get the extra burn damage. This is, I don't think I live the next one unless the Behemoth Blades are like really crazy rolls right here. We'll find out. Let's go for the Behemoth Blade into the Zacian and let's see. Okay, Behemoth Blade. Okay, do we survive? I don't think we do, but if we do, that would be amazing right here. Behemoth Blade comes out in the Zacian. It does finish off the Zacian. Okay, good game. All right, so I guess I would have to read the Sableye. I would have to read I think mainly I just have to read the Dialga turn one then. Like if they go for a dragon into the Calyrex slot or they're going to go for a hailstorm right there. The problem was the hailstorm was definitely not something I remembered from that team. So that kind of changed it. And then I felt like the end game was played pretty well. I think the only extra turn I probably could have gotten was like max guarding that one turn, because if I got that max guard off, because I didn't know that Zacian or the Ditto was also Quick Claw on this team. I thought it was a Choice Scarf. So since it wasn't Choice Scarf, that actually made it a lot easier, because it means it doesn't outspeed that if they transform my Zacian, they can't outspeed my Calyrex. So that's actually pretty big right there. So that was like a few misplays, and I think the max guard misplay actually would have been pretty big, because I'm pretty sure I would have been able to live any Dialga hit afterward, and they would have to double up my Zacian slot. So in retrospect, I think like not max guarding, going for a protect and max guard on that one turn, because I thought it was like Choice Scarf Ditto, so I thought like, oh, I either go for the damage or I go for the knockout there. I might as well. It ended up really hurting me right there. So well played to Francesco though. The Hailstorm turn 1 was definitely great, and the end game are definitely pretty strong. I guess I could have also Astral Barrage though at the end game, because if I did go for the Astral Barrage, Ditto went down. I got a huge amount to their Zacian. I don't think their Zacian can knock on my Zacian, because I think I was at full at that time. And even then, like Calyrex would just get another boost and then outspeed and KO. Of course, the critical hit was a little bit lucky, of course. It definitely put me in a way stronger position for that end game. So maybe I should have clicked Astral Barrage at that point if I expected like no protects. I thought Ditto would protect there, but yeah, I guess it was okay to go for the Astral Barrage if I expected the Calyrex not to go for the, or not the Calyrex, the Zacian to not protect there. Zacian, Kyogre, Landorus Fairy, and Rillaboom, Incineroar, and Grimmsnarl. Okay, this is a team that I know Andrew Ding used quite a bit to top cut a few regionals right here. So this game plan, I think it's kind of tricky because it depends on me reading a few things. But overall, I really do like, what do I want to go here? Because I like Zacian plus Thundurus right here. I think it's super solid against them. And then in the back, I'm thinking, there's a lot of things I could really like here. I like my own Zacian. Of course, it does do a really good amount of damage to them. They have to respect my Gastrodon, so they probably have to bring the Rillaboom here. Don't know if I'm bringing Gastrodon or if I'm bringing Rillaboom myself, because Rillaboom Grassy Glide against the Kyogre, of course, is just really solid. But I don't know. Incineroar could also be a pretty good mon here. There's like quite a few things that I could bring and realistically work out here. I think I want to try out I think I want to try Gastrodon. Let's see. Because I think there's like, I think I could bring any of my 6 realistically here in this matchup. And I haven't really practiced too much against the Lando Grimmsnarl variants of this team. So Lando could be a factor that could really throw me off here. So that's why I'm kind of more inclined to bring, I think, the Gastrodon here. But here's the thing, I don't think the Lando maxes much on this team if it's the same one, but I don't know. We're gonna see the Zacian and Grimmsnarl here, which is actually perfect for me here, as I do lead my Zacian and Thundurus right here. Now, unless they change the team, I should be pretty good for the most part, because I should be able to get a Behemoth Blade off into their Grimmsnarl and pick up the knockout immediately, unless they have Fake Out or a Babiri Berry. So that could be a big thing here. They also are probably really scared. They wouldn't want to switch in Incineroar, of course, against the Thundurus. So I could protect this turn. There's no drawbacks to protecting. There's also a Gastrodon switch I can make. I think my safest play is just to Behemoth Blade though, and just go for the protect with Thundurus. If they read this and go for the attack in the Zacian, I don't really think that's that big of a deal. I really don't want to get tricked with my Thundurus, because trick on my Thundurus is actually really bad. So yeah, going for the protect seems like a way better play than anything here, especially since the Grimmsnarl probably likes to get sacked here most of the time. Unless they want to go Kyogre and take that damage, which I don't really think they want to do. And I'm assuming their last Pokemon's a Rillaboom, and I don't think you want to risk Rillaboom against the Gastrodon team. So yeah, I think they are forced to stay in right here. So let's see. We get a Protect off of our Fundy. We are going to see a Reflect come out, which makes a lot of sense. I do have to watch out for that, because it is going to affect some of my calcs in the back. We are going to get a Behemoth Blade off. We revealed that we have a faster Zacian, which is really nice here. Or it's a speed type, but that's actually really good information. So Behemoth Blade going to come out of Grimmsnarl. Does finish out the Grimmsnarl. I don't have to worry about Trick or any light screen, which is really solid here. Okay. And there's Zacian. Went for the Behemoth Blade into my Thundurus. Excellent turn. Excellent turn. Okay. Huge turn right there. Okay, that's perfect. This could be Kyogre. This is Kyogre. Yep. Okay. So I don't know if they're going to go for a max move here, or if they're just going to go for like attacks, because realistically I could see them doing either here. I think I'm just going to Behemoth Blade their Kyogre slot and try to get some damage onto it. which seems really good for Thunderous. And then I'm going to go out into Gastrodon, because if they go for a max here and it's a Geyser, I absorb it right here. Gastrodon should be able to take a Behemoth Blade. I don't know if it's Behemoth Blade and a Hailstorm would knock it out. It might, but I think that's like perfectly acceptable. I get good damage in the Kyogre, and I protect my Zacian, which I think is a pretty important factor here. So we'll bring out the Gastrodon. Let's see. It is a max coming out from the Kyogre, it looks like. So perfect. Okay. That's really good. I don't know if they Hailstorm though. That's a big one. It could also be Behemoth Blade plus Max Lightning my Zacian, but I think Zacian's pretty much done its job, what I needed to do. I get the Grimmsnarl out of here and get some pretty good chip in their side. I guess I would have liked to get a Behemoth Blade off in their Zacian, because it puts him maybe in Astral Barrage range. But we'll see here. We're going to get Behemoth Blade off into the Kyogre, so this is some pretty good damage right here. Yeah, that's still some pretty good, decent damage. This is going to be a Behemoth Blade. Yep. Into who? That's a big one. This could be in my Zacian. This could be like Max Geyser here into the Thunderous. But it's okay, they target the Gastrodon. Perfect. I probably go down to Hailstorm if it's Life Orb. So let's see. It is going to be Hailstorm. Good play on their part. They didn't fall for the Gastrodon potential switch. I don't really need Gastrodon for this because I'm assuming Rillaboom's their last. Oh, but we do survive, which is actually pretty nice here. Do we survive the hail, or do we get the leftovers back first? I don't remember. I know Grassy Terrain goes after, but don't remember if leftovers goes before. I'm pretty sure it's hail. Yeah, it's hail. Okay, so Gastrodon does go down here. Unfortunate, but that actually works out okay for me here. It's not Life Orb Kyogre, which I think is the interesting part. So I wonder if that's Assault Vest. That really didn't do that much damage right there. So maybe my play is just to go Thunderous here. But I could also go Calyrex and Wisp here. That's also not a bad play. But they could protect. Well, if they protect, what can they do? Geyser? That's no matter what, I'm risking something, right? I'm either risking a Willis Pit or a crit on my Thunderous with Behemoth Blade. So I got to figure this one out. I think it's Calyrex here. I like the idea of Calyrex here. Yeah, I'm going to go Calyrex here. I'm going to go Calyrex, and I'm going to Wisp their Zacian, and I think I'm just going to sub with my my own Zacian. I like the idea of burning their Zacian, reducing the damage output, stalling out a potential max of the Kyogre, which seems really good here. I could go for Astral Barrage Behemoth Blade, which might knock out their Zacian, but it really depends. If they're slower Zacian, they'd probably have some bulk. So I'd rather go for the sub here with the Zacian, I think. And I do want to go for the Willis really badly, because I don't think Kyogre can knock out my Calyrex if the Zacian protects here with any attack. Geyser, of course, I have a Sash. If they go for Hailstorm, that's not KOing me unless they crit me. Max Lightning, also the same situation. They have to crit me. So let's go for that Willis spin to the Zacian right here. Last Pokemon. I'm really hoping that Thunderous just beats the last Pokemon, and I feel like it's a very likely chance that it's a Rillaboom in the back situation. So let's see what my opponent decides to do. I need a bit more damage. Ooh, we're gonna see the Zacian switch actually, which is a good play on their part. Oh, Incineroar, really good play on their part. Okay, so Incineroar is revealed as the last. That makes it kind of bad actually, because I was thinking it was Rillaboom. All right. They go for the Willis spin to the Incineroar. I do go for the sub here with my Zacian. Who are they targeting, I guess? But either way, no matter who they target, it's kind of okay. So we're going to see a Max Geyser be fired off into the sub would be really nice here. It is the sub. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's actually really nice. Okay. So this is not too bad, because I get to keep my Sash on the Calyrex, which is actually really, really ideal that I get to keep my Sash available. All right. I guess I kind of want to go on the offensive with my Zacian or go for a sub. I actually don't mind going for the sub again. And I feel like I just Astral for chip, because if they want to KO my Calyrex, they have to double into it, which I think is really big. If they spend time going into my Zacian slot, that means their Dynamax is over. And I think that's like pretty okay for me. So looks like they're going to go on the offensive nice. So Astral Barrage. I wondered that Kyogre's Assault Vest, because it looks like it. Sub up with the Zacian once again. If they Parting Shot, that's fine here. Gonna be Geyser once again. Okay, into who? This is gonna go out into the Calyrex. Okay, this could be a double up, and if it's a double up, I think that's okay for me. Is it? They have Reflect up and I'm intimidated. Yeah, they did double up the Calyrex. Okay, that's cool. I did get the damage off in the Kyogre that I needed. All right. I go out into Thunderous here. How many turns of reflect do they have? Because I guess if it's light clay on the Grim, because I haven't seen, have we seen the turns yet? Because I thought it was trick. Okay, I think I actually no, I would double protect here. Yeah, I should double protect here. Double protect is the play because if it is the reflect, we get to stall it out here. I don't think Incineroar is going to hard swap to Zacian. Incineroar has taken some chip though. So I wonder if I double up the Incineroar or do I double up the Kyogre? That's a good question because this endgame is actually pretty close. Let's see, because it really just depends on, is it likely Grim or not? I think that's a really big question here. If it's likely Grim, that's going to be a really something for the rest of the game. But yeah, double protect, stall out hopefully the last turn of light screen here, as we're going to see a Origin Pulse be fired off and a parting shot into the Zacian. Okay. Okay, it's light clay. All right, that's good to confirm here. All right. If it's light clay, I guess my best play is just to Sacred Sword the instant for chip and max lightning here. A double up if it KOs Kyogre would be really ideal, but I have no idea. Like with Sacred Sword plus Brick Break. But I think I'd rather just go for the... I'd rather go for the Kyogre, yeah. I'd rather go for the Kyogre. Max Lightning should KO the Kyogre here, I'm pretty sure, even if there's Reflect up, because the Kyogre has been weakened quite a bit. If it doesn't, then we're in a lot of trouble. But I'd have really tough time believing that Kyogre is taking this Max Lightning from a Dynamax Life Orb Thundurus at this percent with a Reflect up. So, let's see. I just gotta watch. I think the only problem is this endgame could come down to Zacian crit. That's my only problem here. Sacred Sword going to come out in an instant. I get some chip off in Incineroar, which is nice. It puts in range of like, I think another one. Max Lightning going to come out into their Kyogre, which is perfect. So yeah, I do KO their Kyogre. Yeah, that's what I had a feeling. If they go for Parting Shot, they're going to activate my Defiance. So that's something they do have to watch out for. Okay. Huge knockout. If they're Quick Attack Zacian though, this could get really ugly. This could get really ugly. We're gonna see Parting Shot. Yeah, Parting Shot again. Okay, into my Zacian. So now I can't KO the Incineroar. I can't KO their Incineroar with Sacred Sword anymore if it was a roll. Oh boy. I wonder if Fake Out plus another Life Orb hit into Behemoth Blade. I think it really depends on how much attack their Zacian has. Their Zacian has taken a little bit of chip. I could also go for a Max Lightning into their Zacian, but I feel like that's a throw if they protect and they attack with their Incineroar. So don't really like that. We're going to see the Incineroar come in again. Okay. Okay, Defiance. I mean, Reflect is also up, so I might not even KO the Zacian even with the boost. How many turns of Reflect are left? 2. Okay. So I'm going to go for a Behemoth Blade here into their Zacian, and I'm going to go for an Airstream. I could max guard, but I feel like there's not really that. Is there a benefit to max guarding? I guess if I really believe Fake Out plus Behemoth Blade is going to KO, but I don't think so. I'd rather just Airstream here and go for the Behemoth Blade. And they also didn't go for it. Okay. So they need a Behemoth Blade crit here specifically. And then if they don't get it, I think I just straight up win. Behemoth Blade, very nice damage for Reflect and -1 here. Maybe I should have knuckled. No, Airstream's correct because I do because assuming no crit, I outspeed their Zacian. So Behemoth Blade going to come out into my Thundurus and nice. Okay. It looks like Fake Out chip damage wouldn't have done it. I feel like Life Orb though would have been really close though. So maybe it wasn't the best, but yeah, we are able to KO the Incineroar there. Maybe it was better to just go for a Protect and a Max Guard right there. Let's see how much am I going to be remaining? Because as long as I survived the double up. Oh, that would have been really close, I think. That would have been really close. Okay. But yeah, it looks like we should have this game sealed, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to go for a Behemoth Blade into their Zacian. And I actually am going to go for a Protect to stall out the last turn of Reflect right here. They also they always have to target down my Thundurus, I'd imagine. So, because then I just sub up with my Zacian again. Let's see. If they have Quick Attack, they reveal Quick Attack. They go for Protect. Okay. Which is fine. Actually, it would have been better if I just attacked there because the Max Lightning to Protect would have been better. But this still is fine. Our Reflect wears off, which is perfect. And now, I guess we go for a Brick Break here. No, we should just go for Wall Charge. Wall Charge at +1, +2. Behemoth Blades even at -1 should always KO because we have a +1 life for Wall Charge into the Zacian. I guess the question is, does Zacian live 3 Behemoth Blades? Because that's how many I get off into their Zacian. Okay, they don't have Quick Attack. If they had Quick Attack, they had to go for it right there. So nice. Okay, 100% sealed. Behemoth Blade does come out into their Zacian. Let's see if this is 3 KO because... Oh, well, I guess we'll never find out. Yeah, you got the crit there. Endgame, I still won anyway. Like, I don't think they let Behemoth Blade into Wall Charge, and for sure not into another Behemoth Blade. So, ends up stealing the game. Whoo, boy, that could have been really, really more difficult than I thought. I felt like it was definitely a lot closer because I expect the Kyogre to be the Assault Vest one on the Lando version, but it kind of makes sense. I'm kind of too used to the Life Orb version of the Kyogre on that team with the defensive Assault Vest Lando. I'm pretty sure that was on the original 6th when Andrew did use it. So, ooh, that's kind of made it more difficult for me actually, but that explains why the Hailstorm didn't kill the Gastrodon. But overall, I think the only play that could have been a bit different was like the Incineroar. I think because the fact they had Incineroar over Rillaboom, I guess that could have been a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. So I guess I could have maybe made a bit more aggressive plays. I knew that they were more likely to double up, I think, my Calyrex. So maybe instead of going for the Astral Barrage immediately, I could have just went for the Protect there and still something with my Zacian. I think that would still been pretty acceptable. But overall, I felt like I had pretty general good control over the board. I did have to risk stuff in the end anyway, but that's just like how it sometimes goes, especially with like when you're dealing with a Zacian. And yeah, like I felt like otherwise my end game Thunder's plan ended up being really, really strong there. And that is the show. Team overall, I really do love this team. It's one of my favorite teams that I've used in the format so far, and I think it is really one of the best balanced teams out there so far. It's like a team that can really disrupt a lot of the common restricted duos, and I really have enjoyed using this team for the most part. And thankfully, it was a really strong team that did super well for me at the North American International Championship. But if you did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, really does help me out. If you want to check out not the full details of the team, but the original version down below in the description. And of course, you can check out the rest of my Series 12 content where there's a lot of cool teams and a lot of fun Pokemon. But that's going to be it for me. Have a great day, people. And until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.